Oh, righty Zen. Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to Management Monday. Uh, that's just what I'm calling these now. Last time, we more or less started up, Canto 4 in earnest. Or, I said, no. Last time, we got through basically the mid-section of Canto 4. And I don't know if we'll actually beat it tonight, but we will definitely make some progress on that. But before then, I'm starting a bit early because there's a little bit of some mini stuff that I wanted to actually cover, that I would argue is somewhat, at least lore important, not exactly story important. So, just give me a second and we'll probably get started. Alright. There's just a few, like, very short things that come up very early on. Alright, so just as a quick refresher, because I noticed my mic was muted, we're doing some minor stuff before I get into the last third of Canto 4. This is very quick stuff, so... Alright. Dante? Mephistopheles doesn't roar and grumble ahead all day long. Mephisto is an engine that needs to rest from time to time, much like how Charon is still a human who needs regular breaks. Are you still awake, Miss Faust?
There are a few things left to check. As the engine is treated harshly during operation, it needs to be well maintained while at rest.
To substantiate her words, Faust carried light tools and a small mechanical device in place of her usual Zweihander. You're working hard.
This barely counts as work. To witness Faust's magnum opus, Cortus, being overworked with no time for To witness Faust's magnum opus Cortus being overworked with no time for care takes a greater toll, rather.
She said this after making a light smile.
Do you like this update in particular?
Faust looked down at me using a handheld device. Oh, this thing?
Yes. I believe previously you weren't fiddling with it as often.
It's nothing much, I was just making the most of this new feature I've needed. Whenever Faust requests a break for routine maintenance, my LCB PDA also receives updates. The updates occasionally come with additional functions, and this time...
A note. The device didn't have this functionality until now.
It didn't, surprisingly enough. You didn't know that? I thought you were omniscient, Faust.
Faust only knows everything that Faust knows. Pardon me for a moment.
She took a peek at the screen of my tablet.
Are you attempting to write an encyclopedia, Dante?
I mean, you keep using words I don't know. Stuff like fixers or whatever wings are. Might be common vocabulary for you all, but not me.
I understand. I do suppose you've lost all memory of the city.
Yep. So I want to write down most stuff here. And copy down the things I've been scribbling on paper while I'm at it. This clock on my shoulders could be replaced with yet another head at any moment. There's no guarantee the memories I have right now will stay with me. That's why I must prepare a backup plan like this, so I don't forget twice. These things are real short and quick, just for lore stuff.
뭐야?
What the hell? Without warning, the bus ground to a sudden halt in the back streets.
We'll stop here today. Charon, I fear we haven't quite reached the destination.
목표에 15%
We're approximately
정도
15% short of the target location.
이후 일정을
Considering our
위해서
schedule,
적어도
proceeding at
3%
least 3%
이상
farther would be
전진이
ideal.
Charon's sleepy. Excellent bus drivers don't drive while sleepy.
알아먹겠으니까 갑자기
God, I
브레이크
just
밟지
stop
말란 말이야.
stopping the brakes every damn time! You know how much you've done this!
Buses, Heathcliff has crashed his nose into the back of the front seat for the fourth time, which must signify that this is the fourth screeching halt to occur. Leave the wheel as soon as you start feeling sleepy, said the radio.
That's a good point, but you need to be a bit more flexible about that sort of thing. A statement as plain as that can be quite amusing depending on who says it. The midget boy
I
agrees
like
with me.
how it's gotten to the point where, not because of the voices you give them, how they talk, even if I look away for a moment, I can tell who's talking.
I mean, that's kind of the point of me doing the voices, is to kind of give an indication. Like, that's why I tend to commit to accents.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Even without them, I feel like I could get a tell to who's talking just from how they talk. Like, Heathcliff, very rough around the edges. Don Quixote,
Bit more jovial.
Shakespearean English.
Yeah.
But it just Ang Lu, is somebody who is way peppier than they have any reason to be.
Yeah.
Ang Lu, do you realize that bisected? Oh, really? Cool.
Oh, I've always wondered what my internals look like.
Dante, can you please fix me?
No, Hongul would be like, "Ha, Dante, it appears that I've been broken in half." Like,
On it.
like Honglu is somehow aware but unaware of what's happening. But, the midget boy agrees with me. It's funny when the least flexible one says that kind of gabble. What was that? If that's what you're playing at, what about that old bogey over there who still thinks she's a wartime general? Ishmael pointed to Otis, whose veins were beginning to stick out in her veteran and placid face. This is a prime example of the terror of learned fear. It's happened enough to be familiar, but it's still rather intimidating to hear Virgilius send the bus into chilling silence with a single gesture or utterance. What is it? You were all happily chattering moments ago. No reason not to continue. Want your scion to go on a proper rampage after? I was stretching. Felt a bit stiff. Motive. It's laughable how you behave. You're like dogs that drool at the sound of a bell. If you got complaints, remember that my office in the back always has open hours. I'll make time for consultations. Miss Faust, I leave the rest to you. Of course. Virgilius nonchalantly walked past the sinners, and their piercing stares, with Charon at his side, and both stood at the back of the bus.
Open Perilla.
It's Sesame, Charon.
Charon knows. It's not like magic phrases are what open doors anyway.
I suppose so. While they exchanged corny jokes, the door large enough to fill the backside slowly opened.
In a few months, but still weirds me out every time I see it.
It's bigger on the inside, right? As the back door opened, a splendid, narrow, deep, spacious hallway revealed itself. An endless corridor that looked to go on forever. far onto this hallway. Classy poles demarcate the end of the area we're allowed to traverse, standing in front of unending lines of red lights. Though the place seems comfy, something about it makes eerie feelings creep up. Now I think about it. Is that one of those singularities belonging to a wing? Frau Faust, do you know anything?
Of course it is known, but I am certain that you do know that I cannot speak of them in much detail, Herr Gregor.
Could stand to be a bit nicer about it. This is a corridor. This one makes a lot more sense now.
That's correct. It's a corridor.
Sure is. A long hallway with doors to rooms on the sides. Of course it's a corridor. Professor Genki is pleased. F. What are you trying to... Whatever. I'm too tired. Dante, please hurry on with it. Gregor's words snapped me out of idly staring down to the edge of the passage. Oh, yeah, right.
Dante, while I understand you may feel it be an unnecessary repetitive act, simply put, the executive manager's approval is a vital part of the procedure. Please understand.
No need to put it like that, Miss Faust. With that answer, I got up from my seat and stood at the front of the bus, looking at the crew. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the centers.
Thank you kindly. Starting now, you will all be given a maximum of 12 hours to partake in sleep and rest. The duration is subject to change. Have a good night.
As soon as Faust finished speaking, the sinners walked along with groans and sighs. Jeez. Man, I'm whipped.
A fine night, young Sinclair. What say you another game of chess?
No thanks, Don Quixote. You always run to Misery's song for hints whenever you're losing. That is untrue, Sinclair. That was because I could not bear to watch the grievous misplacements. That's even worse. Bonsoir, manager, and thank you for today's work. As for tonight's watch. Oh, Marceau, thanks for suggesting. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling sleepy today. Then Otis suddenly intervened. Executive Manager, allow me to remind you that I am always willing to stand in for night watch duty if you ever feel fatigued. Yeah, babushka.com. Well, we get inside now. Executive Manager, your hard time work must... Sure, let's get you to bed. Literally telling us, let's get to bed, Grandma. The fact that Rodia just straight up calls her babushka. Ishmael gave me a small nod, and then proceeded to draggingly chaperone Otis back. Let me start that one over. Ishmael gave me a small nod, and then proceeded to draggingly chaperone Otis through the back door with Rodia. Then at last, Faust and I remained.
That was fortunate, Dante. Had they not forced Otis to retire, she would have nagged you for the duty of night watch for quite a while again.
Does happen a lot. I commented back as I watched the sinners head into the corridor, one after another. After Rodia has entered and closed the door, Ishmael opens the same to get inside. You said the door leads to a different space each time it opens, right?
Yes, as long as a sinner is in the right mental condition, the door will lead to a lodging appropriate for rest and personal use.
Lodging, is it? It looked more like jail cells the last time I peeked through the window. Still, she must mean it can be used as a personal living space, for sleep, showers, self-care, and all that.
You seem to have other questions besides that.
My clock has no eyes, nose, or mouth, and yet... somehow it feels as though Faust reads something out of me. Not that she'll tell me how she manages it. You know, just curious about what's over there. I pointed down to the far end of the corridor with my finger. Right to the horizontal depths of the seemingly endless corridor.
As I have told you repeatedly, it is best not to be curious about it, Dante.
As expected, Faust chose to walk into the corridor with a faint sigh instead of a real answer. And yet, just maybe, Faust knew all along. She knows it all, as she likes to say. Maybe she knew that I would learn about what lies beyond in the corridor soon enough. Alright, the last of the mini-episodes beyond the bus corridor. And then we can get back to Canto 4. This was all happening before we actually arrived at the center of K-Corp, so... It happened exactly a week after that fruitless exchange. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners.
Thank you kindly. Starting now, you will all be given a maximum of 12 hours to partake in sleep and rest. The duration is subject to change. Have a good night.
Faust gives the same instructions as always. In response, sinners groan and stretch like usual. Except this time, one sinner stuck out of the normalcy like a sore thumb. What now?
Leave him be, she. It's not the first time he's all grumpy like that, is it? And hey, make sure to simmer down before you get in your room, okay? All that grumbling thunder in there keeps me awake, you know.
The sinners' rooms, their lodging, personal space, and cell reflect their state of mind. Or so I've heard. Each room's floors, walls, and overall ambiance are shaped after the sinner's personality, and the view through the window changes depending on their emotions and mental state. Though, all I've seen were distant glimpses through the window, so I don't have all the details. The room Heathcliff enters would sometimes, actually rather frequently, emit withering and stormy sounds. Usually, he'd snap back with a, "Why should I?" or something like that, but he only clicked his tongue. I suppose he doesn't feel like arguing. Thanks to that, he stood in the corridor until all the other sinners, save for Faust, went into their rooms, staring down the passage with a frown. Maybe he was relieving stress this way. Huh. And that right there is when the incident began. Oh, what? What's with all those doors down the aisle? Heathcliff pointed in the same exact direction I did a week ago. Those doorways were beyond the no trespassing line blocking the way.
Heathcliff, I recommend against walking further into the corridor than necessary.
Oh, that sure makes it sound awfully suspicious.
There is nothing of which to be suspicious. You are better off listening to Faust.
What? You keep treasures or something in there? Faust's secretive attitude was enough to rouse his curiosity.
Heathcliff, do not do it. You will regret your action.
Got well emotional and gobby, eh, Miss Cleverness? It's like you're actually hiding something there. He sprinted into the dark before we could stop him. What's in there? Just as I was about to ask Faust an obvious thing to be concerned over, Heathcliff's sharp scream echoed from the unlit area far into the corridor.
Dante, now's the time to take my left hand and run with me.
What? Huh?
I won't be able to get him out in time on my own. I may be engulfed myself if I don't act quickly.
Before I could process what she meant, Faust ran off in the direction Heathcliff disappeared. Ah, shuckaroonies! Wait for me! As we crossed the line and proceeded deeper into the corridor,
we came across a three-way crossroads. I think I heard screams coming from the middle. However, without a moment's hesitation, Faust darted for the left aisle. But, Faust? I know you're in a hurry, but are you sure this is the right way? I could have sworn I heard his voice coming from the center path. I know. Without elaborating further, Faust continued running. Another fork we encountered, Faust chose the right path. Right afterwards, she entered the fifth door on the left side of that hallway. What is this? Right as I entered, another hall came into view. Its end was like a cliff. To be more precise, I felt some kind of gravitational pull trying to get me to fall onto the end of the hallway. Heathcliff! Then I saw him. He crawled towards us with all his might from the middle of the hall, as if he might fall the moment he lets go. What the hell is all this? On this place. Even though I couldn't see much in the dark behind him, I definitely felt some presence in it. Faust, what's over? Dante, I want you to hold the knob of this open door tightly. Firmly grip my hand as well. Holding my hand securely, she gradually approaches Heathcliff. This hallway isn't tilted or anything, is it? Why does it feel like we're hanging off a cliff? That is because we're in a corridor, obviously. Dante, do not let go. Reminding me to hold fast, Faust extended her other arm while holding her Zweihander. Heathcliff, grab this if you would. Are you mental? My hand will get gassed if I try grabbing that giant blade. You'll much prefer deep wounds on your palms to what you can suffer down there. Baffled, Heathcliff looked at the sword and then the darkness behind him. Bugger. Dante, pull him up. Might and main. Got it. Right as we pulled Heathcliff up. No, I'm not sure it's even right to say that we pulled him up, but nevertheless, Faust hoisted his unconscious body by the legs and started rushing, saying that we need to return the way we came. Following her lead, I supported his arms and trailed behind, keeping his head from dragging along the floor. After burning some time, let us say that it is fortunate he wasn't lost in a deeper area. Dante, you will have to turn the clock. Heathcliff's gonna be okay, right? The psychological damage is likely to be severe. Our work will be encumbered if he loses his mind. I didn't have a choice. Good work back there, Dante. While it is unfortunate that we have lost a portion of our limited break time to this. Faust, just what's in there? Where does it lead? Can't you tell me at this point? I've seen that stuff now. It was only natural that I want to know what resides there and what was chasing Heathcliff. Moreover, why did it never show itself to us? And why did it vanish instead of chasing him any further? These questions were driving me crazy, but alas. As stated earlier, there are limits to what Faust can elaborate. Yep. I honestly didn't expect much. The corridor, you IF. Ryoshu muttered with a cigarette in her mouth, walking past us both. She must have left her room while we were out on a rescue mission. However, Faust proceeded as if not a soul had just walked by, as if nothing was just said. You did prevent a sudden vacancy in the bus department. Though I wouldn't exactly call it a reward. I do suppose it isn't a bad idea to inform you of one thing.
Ooh, let me hear it. The unexpected boon had me rubbing my hands together. Right. What will she tell me now?
Dante, when you traverse a road you have never walked before, what do you do?
Huh? I mean, you use a map, obviously?
That's right. Then, even if you don't have a map, your brain will form images to serve as one. From there, on that map, there will be a starting point and a destination clearly marked. When you return from your trip, you will trace back through that way.
It's so obvious, I don't need to verbally answer. I just nodded along.
Hopefully, that makes it clear enough.
Eh.
This is why you should remember where you've started in the corridor, especially when you open a door.
Flabbergasted by the abrupt end, I blurted.
Now then, Faust has grown tired. Do take care.
She walked through the door before I could say something, leaving me with a riddle. Of course it would go like this. I sighed out of frustration, but not a breath of air is expelled from my pitiful clock. Still, left powerless. All I can do is boot up this electronic notebook and piece together what little information I have collected. Thank you, Heathcliff, for being an idiot. Anyway, with our brief detour taken into account, we will go back to Canto 4, where we properly are. And we are going to start with 445. Offer to join. Clear within 10 turns. I did level up Isang a little bit, because I am going to... gonna briefly take Gregor out of the team and put Isang in, because if this is the node I think it is, I'm going to want Isang. Yeah, I know I'm a little underleveled. We'll see how it goes first. E, why? Did you call? That man who keeps clinging to us, claiming to be your friend. What's the relationship? As can be seen, the tie has long been severed. I don't like butting in, and I hate speaking for long even more. But I'm telling you this since the smile of that ignorant, feigning scoundrel. But I'm telling you this since the smile of that ignorant, feigning scoundrel done wrong is detestable. That one desk, one that was even more disgusting than the others, because it was clean and empty. The name tag below it had your name. He was planning to give Isang that position all along? Do you think he's trying to headhunt him? That's supposedly a violation of moral principles between firms or something like that, isn't it? Baffled. What's that supposed to be an acronym for? It's not. I'm just baffled. Thank you, Ryoshu. Orange hair. You say you used to work on a ship for a long while. As a fixer? You have serious delusions about wings and firms. Did you dump your common sense into the Great Lake as chum? Bringing up morality in the world we live in. Pretty amusing for a joke. Headhunting and changing jobs between firms are done based on entrance and efficiency. So you're a hillbilly in your own language, eh? Or should I say boatbilly? Even if that was the case, this really is strange. He's not taking Isang's thoughts into account at all. Heed no heed. Thoughts are rather meager things.
I am quite used to the life of being taxidermied. Are you saying you don't mind? You sung when you joined the company. No, actually, didn't all of us receive the same offer? The job offer. In my case, I was promised I'd get my aspect carved. I could barely remember a thing, but as soon as I heard that word, I nodded as if I was possessed. They acted like they knew my only choice would be to accept it. If I joined this company, when I do, the thing I wished for dearly, the thing I recited to myself every night. Yes, the thing I thought would be impossible. They promised to make it a possibility. Most certainly.
How thoroughly did they look into our backgrounds? Guess we had our version of wish-granting tales, just like that storybook we read earlier.
In truth, even that wish was no more than a futile dream.
What? You weren't that desperate for it? Why'd you join then?
Simply, I walked for so long that my feet hurt. A shower of rain was pouring down as well. The boss I saw then appeared rather inviting.
That can't be it. Can it? We all...
That's enough of it. Our company rules forbid disclosing the contents of the job contract in detail.
Acting all high and mighty when you're in the same acting all high and mighty when you're in the same boat as the rest. Bow.
Let's proceed.
That's when a thought struck me. Unlike most other sinners, Yasung wouldn't vocalize his pain. Because of that, I would often discover his injuries late. Where has he been holding all of that pain? I was reminded of the void in his chest I caught a glimpse of. Was he keeping it in, or was it spilling out? Okay, thankfully 445 is not the note I thought it was, but we'll still live. Having Yasung in the fights is gonna be fine. Give him a bit of screen time. Hello! Welcome to the Limbus Company streams.
Hello. Welcome.
This is specifically Limbus Company. This is the third game from Project Moon, who is known for making exceedingly hard, exceedingly gory games. Well, not exceedingly gory, but they're usually a lot more bloody than other games of their genre. Offered to join too. This one's just a battle. It's fine. Trying to think, what the... Oh, am I thinking of 454? Is that the actual name of that stage? I think it's 454. Either way, we'll be fine. We'll live forever. I play a wide variety of games, especially on stream. Just kind of whatever strikes my fancy and currently whatever actually runs on my computer. Primarily on the streams, they'll probably be in some way, shape, or form considered RPGs. But that's mostly just because I've really grown to like RPGs as I got older. Good job, Isang. It's always funny when...
You usually kind of just play whatever you feel like, for a game. Yes, Ari?
Yeah. Like, it's kind of a case of that I have, like, no preferred genres. I just play whatever I think is interesting.
Yeah.
So.
If I remember correctly, the plan for Wednesday is you're going to be finishing off.
And depending on how long that takes, I may or may not start up the Zero Escape games, specifically 999.
Yeah. Which, I might be a tiny bit late on Wednesday, work-related stuff, but I should be here by the time you start 999, if you do end up starting that.
Yeah, we'll see, because I am very much close to the end of off. I just don't know how much longer it is, because, well, I'm only halfway through Chapter 5. Or I guess,
based
Chapter
off
4.
what I remember seeing on how long to beat it, you probably have anywhere between half an hour to a bit over an hour estimated.
Yeah, that's probably the safe assumption. Definitely gonna be a case of preparing a large glass of water for the amount of voicing. If your stream delays isn't too bad, I might let you take over a couple characters.
Oh! You shouldn't have to worry about that. The Steam version,
I know it has voice acting, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Alright, just... Thank you, Heathcliff. Just slap, slap. I'll be honest, I forgot how tanky those enemies are. Like, they're just kind of annoying. Alright. Screening room. Alright. In this battle, up to 7 sinners can participate in combat. Oh, man! I forgot that up to 7 could participate, so I guess throw Gregor back in and throw in Faust. Faust, do you... Yeah, you still have Bloodzak, okay. Yeah, I know I'm a little underleveled. Shush. It's too dark to see. What is that? It's been stopped for a moment because of the commotion, right? Yes, as intruders might come up, so Director Alfonso has ordered to halt the operation for the moment. No. That just won't do. The losses caused in that brief moment will be tremendous, Samjo. Scratch that! What is that thing? Ah, you see, this thing cries in our stead. So I always look at it with gratitude and pity. I see now. That's what Ron told me about. The voice of a person we've been desperately looking for was heard. Its source was right in front of us. Some kind of translucent veil seemed to drop as she rose. and Donbei was looking at us. Ah, I've been wondering how, and now I know the answer. How our security was so easily breached, how we kept losing track of you, and how you kept vanishing. You had the veil. So simple. Why couldn't I think of it sooner? Veil? What's that supposed to be? You bugger stop talking about things only you know again, eh? You might be able to live in the city, alright, but you clearly aren't cut out to be a fixer.
Most people will struggle to figure out or understand the source of each technology in their lives, so they give up the endeavor and simply nod along. Pretending to know. It's an essential skill for making your life in the city bearable.
It's an expensive, singularity-based item only famous fixers, wing executives, or the richest classes could afford. Even if I asked how you got it, you won't answer me, will you?
Is what I'm seeing the truth behind regeneration ampules?
Yes, that's right. The source of the ampules you're hell-bent on destroying.
Will you destroy? Let me ask you a question. Don't you know how many lives these ampules can save? These regeneration ampules don't simply regenerate the body. These tears can kill as easily as they can save. Are you trying to suggest that these tears kill people? I have nothing more to say to you, if you won't believe me, even after seeing it happen several times already. Fine then. Will you concede if I prove their safety by walking into this pool? What? Don't slander Mr. Donrong with your baseless claims. Countless people have recovered from life-threatening conditions thanks to this technology. I've been injected with it once myself. My neck broke while diving, but the regeneration ampule helped me recover from the brink of death. It was one of the reasons I applied for K-Corp as soon as I became an adult. But that's not the point here. What are you doing, Mr. Samjo? My childhood dream was to be a competitive swimmer in the nest. I could dive from this height, no problem. I thought it was being a baseball star.
You're overdoing it again, Samjo. You don't have to go through the trouble. It's okay, so just stay here.
It's no trouble at all. You worked on the ampule yourself. Mr. Donrong, Director Alfonso, and the countless other researchers worked for years to perfect K-Corp's regeneration ampules. I could only be here because I trust this technology. I'm proud of it. I'll be back in a minute.
Wait, Samjo! Samjo took his glasses off and jumped into the vat containing the tears. Small bubbles rose from where he dove, but a few seconds later, no sound could be heard from the vat. Oh dear, what a bother. Samjo never knew about the unrefined tears. We won't be able to salvage his body. Still, it's fortunate that he remained proud of us until the end. What did you just say? Mr. Samjo's was a case of success from a humble upbringing. I like that sort of person. Fellows who are hired by Wings, even though their qualifications are far below the Wings' requirements, tend to be loyal to their employers. What? Wasn't he a nestborn? Right. You do know that being from the nest doesn't grant you a free pass to the Wings, right? What's happening? Why isn't Mr. Samjo coming back?
What does the unprocessed liquid do, Donrong? The tear's function is to revert things to how they were originally. The regeneration ampules available now are a product of numerous refining processes.
Sinclair, my boy, chill. Sinclair has no chill.
When a person who has lost an arm takes the ampule, they'll remember having the arm as its original state. When someone with a dent in the head takes the ampule, their head will be restored to the shape they remember to be how it originally was.
What about those people in the lobotomy branch who died like bugs?
They were all under a trance, so to speak. By repeatedly playing the voice that says, "You are a bug," in a sealed, otherwise silent room, the image of bugs will be instilled in the subconscious. Indeed, it becomes more effective with the step of refining and diluting it with the ideas of human concepts. But when a drop of tear that lacks any kind of interpretation touches someone, they'd be reverted all the way back to the original form of humanity.
The original form.
Or should I say it helps you go back to that state? Although it tries, it doesn't seem to be capable of making a person fully reach that state. It consequently removes pain, but, well... So, are you satisfied, Donbei? You were right. And Sanjo probably turned into the original form of humanity, or something like that in the Vat of Tears. Congratulations! Now, what do you really want? The Singularity. Permanently destroying it, and everything related by using the Concept Incinerator. Concept Incinerator, huh? You'll use it again? So, Donbei, let's say that you do successfully return to an age of nothingness. What comes next? Chop trees, build huts, make clothes out of leather. Is that the kind of life you want?
Sorry.
Mourning the lost lives of trees and animals you've killed? Look, Donbei, with an attitude like that, you'll be nothing more than a primitive amateur. Are you really sure that's what you want? You always ask stupid questions. Then and now. We decided to use vile technology as tools to get rid of their vile creators. Thus, no one can remain in the future we envision. That's why we could be free from the obsession with survival. What are you talking about? So you weren't envisioning a future. You just can't let go of the past. Both of you. Stop this. I don't want old feuds repeating before my eyes.
Thank you. I certainly try.
Isang, you look fine.
Unless you also mean the in-game, because the in-game voice acting is actually really good. You say it like you're relieved. Didn't you want him?
You're right. I wanted him to die. I'm sure he wished for the same. He wouldn't resist while it dug into his heart. It was unpleasant. It felt like I was granting your wish.
Seems to me both of you got a few screws loose. You think pushing someone off a cliff can be justified because that person was hesitating?
Why don't we hear it from the person himself then?
I have no words to say.
This conversation is over then. I'm frankly glad it is. I'll take this opportunity to kill 2 of my old companions with my own hands. Then I'll seize and burn the singularity.
Alright, finally. Donbei. Lobotomy EGO, Sun Shower, Donbei. Turn to bully a woman. Yeah. Starts with 1200 shield. Lose 10 SP. Does she have any minuses? She has a couple minuses, but we'll be fine. It has been a very long time since I've had to do this fight legitimately.
Fair.
I understand the basics of fighting Donbei, but usually in my main file, if I'm ever fighting Donbei, she gets destroyed. So, we're gonna play this a little carefully.
순식간에 끝내죠. 태어난 곳으로 돌아와.
Heathcliff!
미래를 과거와 같이.
The start of the fight is always a little bit slow. Right! Great! Okay, so Heathcliff can just do that. I forgot if he had to have Kodakoma with that. See, the team is in defense level up with Greg, singing mostly assembly, burn, drummer, and a bit voice. Yeah, because I don't really have any other good units to use. I have not been exactly lucky on this account, so it's just like, it's mostly going to be Ryoshu, Dawn, and Isong pulling their weight.
If I remember, you still don't have a Heathcliff unit. Do you?
I had to specifically grab this one with the free specific pick unit that I got from the anniversary. I have not pulled a single Heathcliff. I had to grab this one by the neck. And even then, I could have gone dumber when it came to grabbing Heathcliffs. But I decided to not just immediately destroy everything. Yeah, I'm aware I could have gotten a better Heathcliff, but it is a case of, nah. I will live with my own regret. Also, I probably should have used Body Sack, but oh well. Like, this account is hilariously the exact opposite of my main, where I have every single Heathcliff uptied to level, uptied to tier 4, and usually pretty high leveled. Like, I like Heathcliff. I use Heathcliff a lot. But, you know. Okay. Donbe being a bit of a bitch, as she tends to be. Okay, Heathcliff can't do anything pertinent there. It has been a while since I've seen that voice line. I think we've managed to get the scales in our favor. I don't know if we'll get turn limit, but that's not exactly what I care about in this series. I'll be honest. The main goal of this particular playthrough is just seeing how the game has evolved since I first played these things. Like, what is the perspective of a new player nowadays? And it's a case of, yeah. There's a bit of power creep, but it's kind of a case of I'd still say this game is pretty well balanced. Hold on.
모처럼 괜찮은 예술을 보나 했더니 벌써 목, 애를 전부 채웠군. 방지할 사고도 해야 할 뒤처리도 없나. 돌아가지.
Okay, I know I'm back, but it's like, yes, I understand the LARP in the room. It is a case of, yes, these units are pretty strong, but it's also a case of this is just what the game has decided to give me. I happen to get lucky with Dawn. I happen to get lucky with Ryoshu. But it's also a case of if you look at my levels, I play stupid. So... like, trust me, I could have been even stupider and try and specifically gotten a very specific song, but no. Anyway, let's see how badly this goes for me. Hemoptus, an optimistic sign.
Even with the repeated training of the Qliphoth deterrents, abuse of EGO will still push the user's body to the limit.
Will you return the golden bow now, Donbe?
I was supposed to hand it over to my guests over here. Signed in some complicated contract with several stamps. So I can't go back on my words here. Proudly boasting your ignorance still.
And you're weak. Still. Even with the EGO from Lobotomy Corp, this was below my expectations, Donbe. Besides,
I haven't even introduced you to the technology I developed. I know. Why don't we hold our first conference in a while?
The daily audiovisual feed has been sent.
So tell me, Donbei, how much bigger can your despair grow?
What's up with this sound? Is that the footage of those drones filmed while we were fighting the abnormality on the street? I read the threat you sent, Donbei. Said you'll release an abnormality on the streets if I don't speak about the singularity. I know you were always fond of radical events, but I didn't think you'd actually do it. Of course, it produced a lot more tears, all thanks to you.
No, I wasn't planning to release it. It escaped. You ignored my warning.
If I responded there, that'd mean admitting that our lab had been experimenting on abnormalities arbitrarily. Thank goodness our contractors happened to be near the nest when it happened. So it was all part of your plan to have us run into a breach abnormality? It was closer to an experiment than a plan. The possibility of failure was kept in mind, but I had evidence to trust that you'd make it through. I've been keeping an eye on you for longer than you might think. I told you, didn't I? I'm a fan of yours.
Oh, Sinclair, it's always been the other way around. I am the one who grips.
How is that? I don't think I want to watch. We generated record tears that time as well. Played a significant part in securing the award, I might add. The employees of a certain department in N-Corp weren't the best people to talk with, but I was able to procure fresh audiovisual feed thanks to them. That means the reason N-Corp could get away with such cruelties in a residential area in SK was... This is what the deal entailed. I think I remember a certain fellow saying this. While Brother Yongji's glass window was innovative, it was simply too vast to freely wield, especially for a coarse man like me. Ah, Donbei. Was it you?
Are you?
There just never were enough tears. I mean, look around you. See how many people are suffering here? So they'll be doing the crying for us, with no time to shut their eyes. I only made minor modification to Brother Yongji's work. I wanted to show a reflection of any possibility in its unvarnished image. This is why I'm considering the name for it. Mirror. I wish that this will serve as a tool of entertainment, giving us more joy. Is this why I haven't been able to see you lately? To discover this? Done wrong. Why are you laughing like that? It's just funny that you're talking so ferociously when your eyes are so full of curious twinkles. Isang, will you tell him to shut it? Why don't you hide your astonishment of a child who's tried ice cream for the first time on your face first? Mal is unable to hold laughter. Exclamations of Exclamations of amazedness. Smiles at each other. Eyes glowing brighter than stars. Everyone there felt pure joy. I only wish that all this would remain a simple recreation. You'll simply live on as you are, as if you know nothing.
glass window wasn't made for this kind of wicked degeneracy. We're having an important moment. Please mind your language. And I know what you're saying. Brother Youngji would have scolded me for this. Ah, but did you know? Oh, though. We're no longer in the time when we used to cheer over toy-like inventions. The applause won't be as loud with how few of us that remain now. You're just struggling to let go. Isn't that right? You give your grand speeches about the evil of technology. But there's no more than a pretext you made up on the... I can read, I promise. You give your grand speeches about the evil of technology. But that's no more than a pretext you made up on the way as a means to garner support, to reach your true goal. You claim to fight the vile technology, but you yourself are being plenty vile. When your group took over the lobotomy branch facility where I just happened to be conducting my research, you probably told your followers that it was to investigate the singularity. But in reality, you figured out that you could find pieces of technology you could use as weapons, didn't you? Like EGO. I wonder who gave you all that precious information. Shren couldn't have known that. How about a game of 20 questions? Will you tell me that way? Don't talk like you know everything. That attitude of yours always annoyed me. Then let me act like I know just one more thing. When we peeked through Brother Youngji's glass window, and when we got a glimpse of worlds reflected in Nisong's mirror, we felt the euphoria and schism we would never be able to recover from. Since the moment the glass window was made, all sorts of interest groups came knocking on that door. Right. While we may think that we left the League of our own volition, we all know what actually happened. We were actually just torn apart and scattered away. And that the reason for it came from the inside. Donbei, even if you put my work in the concept incinerator, we won't be able to go back to those innocent times. You know that, right? Even though you are aware, you still can't give up your obsession. Ah, now I get it. If someone were to discover the incinerated technologies again, other nameless fellows with other dreams would feel the same euphoria we once felt. That's what you wanted to happen. Since we can't return to the past ourselves, you are going to recreate the past for coming generations. Wow. What a cute and unique idea, Donbei. Miss Donbei? Your body. Donbei muttered into emptiness. It was as though she was talking to someone. Yes. I'll bury it. Deep in the sand. Hide them. For someone to find. Someday. We didn't discover the technologies because we were better or had exclusive rights to. You may be right. I fooled everyone, including myself, into working for my own goals. It was the land we tilled that was fertile. That's disheartening to hear. Are you going to discredit all our efforts that went into plowing the soil, missing out on sights of flowers? Back then, we were naive amateurs. And the past you refuse to forget is just a fleeting moment seen through rose-tinted glasses. Did your colleagues who gave their lives to the cause know this, though? That the cause you exclaimed was only a space... That the cause you exclaimed was only a specious banner to lure people with. That it was as vain as a cloud in the sky. No. And yet, I am finally seeing myself better now. Which is why I should plant the sprout and cover it with dirt with my own hands. Isn't that right? The bud has fallen, and our fruit has long since withered. It must be covered with dirt again. Let other fruits be born. Hey, is it really okay to let her be? You know, your mind doesn't work right when you're using EGO.
Now hold on. Are you doing this on purpose? Taunt her as much as you can. And wait for her to tire herself out.
Back to the innocent times. Now without us. Ah, innocence. No words are as embarrassing as that.
Oi! Keep it together!
No one can shake your mind like I do. Then and now. Isn't that right? No. I feel like my mind is blooming wider than ever. I've always wished to be a bud, soon to burst into bloom. Shrouded in scent all over the body. Even if this is my own heart-wrenching path, understood by no one, I'll still leave behind a burrow, strong and fertile like fallen petals.
This is the fight I was waiting for. Donde EGO, Spice Bush. I was only aiming at that one. Alright. Time for an actually somewhat difficult fight. Fun fact, I don't think this fight ever technically got nerfed. I think it just kind of exists. Like, I think it's always just been, like, whatever this is going to be. Excuse me? Good job, Ryoshu. Ow. Ow. My Ishmael. Now welcome to the real fight. Problem is I am off to a really bad start. Ow. Yeah, this is going absolutely terribly. Hello there.
Hello.
Hey, these songs free. Doesn't mean much. These songs free. Greg's gonna be up next turn. Especially at that rate. Might as well do that. Get some much needed SP around here. All that for 11 damage. Not doing further damage. Okay. He's on the right path for that one. Eh? Oh, Greg's controlled, that's why. On. Ow. Yeah, that's how a fight with Donbeg goes.
Well.
That's how a fight with Donbeg goes. Alright.
Also, wow, so many first-time chatters tonight.
I mean, welcome to the stream. Okay, I'm gonna actually level up everyone to at least level 30. That might help. Probably not.
Bring out the rare candies.
A little bit. But yeah, no, that is unfortunately just how a fight against Donbeg goes. Bearing in mind that I think this was at a point that you could only uptie to, like, uptie 3, so, like, it's not like I'm technically underprepared. I mean, I'm vastly underprepared. Bear that in mind, I'm vastly underprepared. Because I have, like, nothing in the EGO department. I could technically bring in Sinclair, but I don't know how much he really helps against Donde. It's been a while. Then I don't really have the thread uptime, I don't think. How much do I have? Yeah, I don't think I have the shards for Sinclair. No? I do. I'll uptime to 3 just in case. Because I may or may not need the Sinclair. Mostly because he's just a powerhouse. But yeah, welcome to, back in the day, what was the first of many hurdle fights. Donde. She is the scourge of many a player's existence. Good to know she hasn't changed much. She's expected to be beaten at level 35. To be fair, this is where you can definitely see that luck has started being a factor, because I was doing terribly for no fault of my own. Excuse me. Depending on how long we're here, get used to that voice clip. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Good job, Dawn. Jesus Christ. There are a lot of first-time chatters. Hello! Yes, I am at Donbei. She has already kicked my ass once. I hope I don't have to start making counters for this.
By the way, if you guys like what you see, give a follow. Join the Discord. Subscribe.
You don't actually have to.
I'm your co-commentator. I'm allowed to shill for you.
You are allowed to shill for me. It is a case of...
It's not as bad if I'm doing it. I'm not the streamer here.
I guess, but it is a case of if you like what you say, hey, at least put your feet up, enjoy the show. I got soda in my eye. While this turn happens, I'll be right back. I'm back. I had to clean soda out of my eye. Don't ask how the hell that happened. I was about to say Gregor, you useless lesbian, but no, that's Faust. Faust, you useless lesbian. Winry Trust. No. I've done my time.
Faust? Why?
I've served my nickel. I ain't about to hit the win rate button in this fight. I'm not in need of any better Gregors, I don't think. There are better Gregors, I will admit. But, I think I'm good. Good job, Isang. Ishmael. Ow. This White Greg is pretty good, at least like as a tank. Great, those two are taken out. This is another terrible spot. Do 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 do. Yeah, I'm basically trying not to over level for the Kantos, because let me tell you, they let you level up pretty high for how you start. But it may be a case of we'll see. Ow, my Dawn. Okay, Alright. This might work. Also, not wasting my EGO on this turn would probably help compared to last time, because I forgot that some of those trees just explode. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've had to fight Donbei legitimately. Heathy might be the best bet with yours. Excuse me. Good job, Ish. Oh, that certainly helps, Dawn. Good job, Heath. Alright, she's staggered. It's good. It's always good.
살고자 하는 모든 것들과 함께 무덤으로 돌아가.
85 damage isn't bad.
당신
As Ryoshu just unloads.
태어난 곳으로 돌아가.
Okay, I think I'm at the damage gate. Waste of Yoshi's S3, but... Yep. Damage gate. Okay. Okay, it's that. Nothing special about those two. Third. Just have everyone pile on third and then switch it to Ishii. There we go. Dawn.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
Alright. Inflict dueling next turn, as I expected. She is aiming for a song. Let me double check with that. Use special skill to target one unit, then become immune to stagger and panic for 2 turns. If Yisung has dueling, she gains 1 attack power up. Yisung wins the duel, all allies gain 3 damage up next turn. If Donbei wins the duel, she fully heals SP. Units without this status go into a fully blue attack if Yisung has. Problem is that I don't remember if it's better or not to let Yisung have dueling. She gains the attack power up, but if he wins, I'm gonna take the risk of Yisung getting duel. Like I said, it's been a very long time since I've had to actually do this fight properly, and the duel is the worst part. It's cool conceptually, don't get me wrong, but in terms of actually dealing with it, ugh. Yisung, do not fail me or you are fired. Here's the thing. In my original playthrough of this, I got to the duel twice and lost. So, just because you get to the duel does not mean you win. I have lost the duel. Now she's cooked.
살고자 하는 모든 것들과 함께 무덤으로 돌아가라.
Nice. Second attempt Donbei. So much better than like 14th back in the day.
이렇게 생각하는 게 어때?
Why don't we look at it this way?
엔사에
Did you know that a new League of Nine has been formed in N-Corp?
거기서
They seem to be recruiting the old members and their technologies, similar to what you tried to do.
오히려 그때를 지우려 하고 있는
Though,
것 같기도 하고.
it looks like they're trying to erase that past, rather. This is purely conjecture, but we're all doomed to die at the hands of our dear fellow Gubo and be taxidermied, one after another.
내가 지금 그 순간을 앞당겼어.
All I did was bring that predetermined death a bit earlier.
그리고
Besides,
지난 우정으로 모든 걸
you've gone too far from our past friendship to forgive, Donbei.
아,
I was looking forward to the staff dinner tomorrow. I really was. Come on then. It's time you cease the bloom, Donbei. With the golden bow in hand, Donrong stabs Donbei without hesitation.
왜?
But why? I could state many reasons, but... Right. Let's say this is my parting act of compassion. I knew I'd have to wilt when the time came, but... I always wish to be a bud, soon to bloom, bearing the scent within. Like you, Hisang, how you dream of flying. Like that. I just wanted to be buried under Piquant's scent of flowers with you all. New feed has been added. Soon, the screen is filled with yellow petals. Thank you, Isang, for showing me such a moment. I would dedicate my entire life to repay you for this favor. Hey, Isang, what say you setting up a lab with me? I get the feeling every day spent with you would be a fun one. Amazing, Isang. Unlike me, you attempted to reflect the true image in all its uprightness. The images don't overlap. They aren't blurry or shaky. Isang, you're too lax. Why on earth would you leave it as a plaything when it could be so much more? Be still. Just be still and do nothing more than breathe. For now, that's how you must live. You cannot fly. The League has fallen apart. We have to leave this place. Isang, you will come with me. You can close your eyes if you so wish. Since you're too faint-hearted, I'll see ahead in your stead. What are you thinking? Nothing. The scent of the grave was in full bloom. And that was Donbei. Yeah, I'm not surprised that she dealt the most damage. Alright, with that taken into consideration, I'm going to take a very brief intermission. I'm going to actually run some ads. So this is a good time for you to get up, stretch, get a snack, get a drink, do whatever it is you need to do, and we will be back to continue on with more of this section of Kanto 4 now that we've dealt with Donbei. I'll be right back.
We'll be back after these short messages. Ow.
Alrighty, I'm back.
Oh, come on.
Alright. We are still going through Canto 4. Welcome to how long Canto 4 is.
Eventually.
Sometime later. Alright, I'm going to remove his song and Faust from the roster because the seven Cinder Party was not really fully utilized until like Canto 6? 7? Canto 5, I think they upped it to 6 cinders per battle, but alright. And so am I still nothing? As the intense golden glow fades, the space twists, or as the intense glow... God, I could read. As the intense golden glow fades, the space begins to twist and morph. Did the Golden Pow have the power to do this? I don't think we've ever... I can read. I promise. Did the Golden Bough have the power to do this? I don't think we've even entered the fathoms of ego yet. Was it capable of warping the real world?
Excitement or questions over matters related to the Golden Boughs have little meaning. To you and to Faust, all of us would be the very first witnesses to what is happening before our eyes. It would be statistically sound to assume that we will continue to witness previously unseen events in the future.
I suppose you're right. I mean, look at that. Unable to properly articulate her words any further, Ishmael pointed a finger instead. Even the dead are coming back. Bodies that had been devoid of life for a while begin to rise. Their organs or body parts were severely damaged. This could only be described as resurrection. Huh. I've seen some stuff, but bringing people back from the dead sounds too implausible. Even K-Corp's HP ampules couldn't do this much, right? It's unlikely that there is absolutely no technology or singularity capable of a complete revival at some point. However, if such technology did exist, I, for one, haven't heard of it even once during the war. That could only mean it's not a kind of technology allowed to prosper in the city. If I had to guess, the head might...
Indeed. It may well be an active taboo as established by the head. It's completely different from Limbus Company's case, where we can experience revival by synchronizing with Dante.
It's different and wrong. Theirs is not a complete restoration, unlike our case. They're merely animated. That is all. They appear to lack consciousness and reason. Seems that way. In other words, because it would only count as a taboo if both the mind and body are recovered. Resurrection is definitely kind of a weird thing when it comes to the city. Because, like, there's body retrieval insurance, so it's like, if your body dies, you can technically come back from the dead, but it's kind of the case of your head needs to be intact. And then there's the sinners, which, no, they can literally be torn to shreds and still come back. Like, even against how, the head would probably usually deem, but yet, here they stand. Coming back to life via time reversal is a thing, technically, because of T-Corp, when it comes to LobCorp. I think it's because... I'm not exactly sure how LobCorp does it. Then when it comes to Library Runa, I don't think they technically fully die either, they're just turned into a book. So that's not technically dead, just kind of dead. I don't know. This kind of stuff is one of those weird things that they haven't gone completely in depth with. Alright, yeah. We're only at the 2/3 mark of this canto.
Jesus! Seriously?
Yeah. Bearing in...
Who at Project Moon thought it was a good idea for this canto to be this long?
I'm gonna look at the director. That's probably the most of it, but...
You know what I mean.
Yeah, but no, it is a case of, like, you saw that I haven't actually even gone back and done any of the notes I've skipped. Bearing in mind. So, I don't know how much of this is, like, this bar is actually filled, but it is a case of that it is only just now counting this as the 2/3 mark. Because I think 454 is actually the dungeon. So we'll probably at least start the dungeon tonight, but... When I took a closer look at the revived foes after the battle, I could see a liquid of a familiar hue flowing from their eyes.
Dante, do you feel the Golden Bow's presence nearby? Last time I saw, the Golden Bow was lodged in Donbei's body.
I can't find her corpse anywhere. Must have been moved away when the space twisted. But it can't be too far away. I'm sure of it. I can feel it.
I don't see Don wrong either. He's likely to be in the same location as the deceased Donbei.
Until now,
We've experienced the fathoms of ego at the same time. I guess it's thanks to Dante's peculiar affinity, if that makes sense.
The hell are you talking about? Affinity?
Do you mean the chains binding us?
Yeah,
This is one of their influences, right?
Then
What will happen if someone like Don Wrong gets to the fathoms? Fret not, for we shall find out from now on. Let us vanquish the foes ahead for now.
내 뒤로.
순식간에 끝내줘. 태어난 곳으로 돌아가. 사고될 시간이다. 잔.
놈 나와. 놈 나와.
펜. 모처럼 괜찮은 예술을 보나 했더니 벌써
Okay, yeah.
애를 전부
454 is in fact the Fathoms, so.
방지할 사고도 해야 할 뒤처리도 없나.
What's the... Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to use the refill.
천천히 가자니까.
순식간에 끝내죠.
태어난 곳으로 돌아가.
지령에게 불확실한 것은 없네.
사고될 시간이다. 잔 무에.
흙을 마실 걸?
운명적인
Good job, Heath.
미래를 과거와 같이
내 뒤로. 이 피었잖아. 거기까지. 그 정도인가?
Ryoshu, chill out. Ryoshu, chill out.
He doesn't want to.
I guess not. She has a lot of bullets, and she's like, I want him out of here. I don't want these bullets. What am I gonna do with these? Ryoshu will make the city rue the day it decided to give Ryoshu bullets. I don't know. It's not as funny as Lemons.
태어난 곳으로 돌아가.
운명적인 죽음일세.
Hooray!
다들 고생했다. 부조장한테 내가 말해둘 테니까 뒤처리 끝나면
Alright, 454, Reminisce League. For this dungeon, you may not select a support identity for Yuzong. He must always participate in battle. This was kind of the first time they ever forced a sinner into your slot for their story reasons, which makes sense. Oh yeah, I forgot to level up Ryoshu. There we go. She's at least level 30. Alright. I'll at least do a couple of the nodes in the dungeon, because obviously the dungeon's going to be pretty long. We'll see how far we get in the next hour. Because this one is definitely a lot of talking. As we approach the center of the Golden Bow's resonance, I noticed scattering piles of yellow. With a twisting space, petals were wavering.
저 너머에
So the fathoms of Hisangsi go over there. Come on.
Let's get in.
와,
Wow.
다시 오게 될 줄.
Sure didn't expect I'd be back here. Is this thanks to the Golden Bough?
아니면
Or is it you, Isong?
이상?
When we got there, Don Rong greeted us merrily.
아늑하네.
How cozy.
여긴 어디였어?
What place was this, Isong?
유일하게
The only place where I may breathe. That's what this was. There are stacks of paper on the desk. As you see, usually,
우리 같은 손님들을 두고
there's a place for visitors like us to read. Isong quietly picks up a stack. I couldn't begin to imagine what thoughts his face may have suggested as he silently read the letters on them.
언젠가
A letter I had written once,
그리고 형식.
and its structure follows that of a play's script.
그렇다면 이는
It's then reasonable to assume that each actor in the play was provided with one.
하면
If so,
아무도 없는
this
것이
may well have been a stage awaiting our arrival,
있어.
rather than a simple emptiness.
아,
From the looks of it,
뭐 아무래도
we'll have to read out the script.
우리가 낭독을
right?
해야 할 것 같지? 어쩌면
Maybe Donbei might just come, he sung.
만약 동백이
If Donbei got to this space before she died.
뭐라 불러야 할지.
I'm not sure what I should call this.
아무튼
Anyway, if the entrance opened while she was alive, her consciousness might have been wrapped up in this, as ours were.
동백을 찌른 연유는
For what
무엇이오?
reason did you stab Donbei? She hesitated a little too much. What? Did you want this kind of eulogy from me?
연유를
The reason.
말하시오.
I'll hear it.
아니,
No, it's really...
그 상태의 동백을
You knew as well,
숨을
Isong.
걸어야지.
In that state, Donbei's death was imminent.
그렇다는 걸.
Her life would have been painfully scattered away if I let her be.
그러니
That's why you can't lash out at me,
내게
despite the
붙은
anger
생각은
boiling inside of you.
어차피
It wouldn't have made much of a difference.
이번 자아신도는
This time,
이전과는
the
다른
fathoms of
방식으로
ego
되나 보군요.
might present themselves differently from the previous ones.
자아신도는
The fathoms of ego are places or images of someone's mind made manifest.
그로부터 나오는 에너지.
It releases a powerful and complex energy.
수감자 외
It might draw in people other than the sinners, like those deeply related to Yisung in this case.
That's so. To put it bluntly, dragged in a bunch of clowns stacked on stage, is that right?
추측일 뿐이지만
Although this is merely a guess.
그럴 것 같네요.
Yes, I suppose that's about right.
맞게 최선을
We'll have to do
다하면서
our best with our given roles.
못한다면
And if we don't,
자아신도에서 표출하려는
The image displayed by the fathoms of the ego will go awry, ultimately preventing our access to the Golden Bough. We must reenact the originals. In other words, Yisung's actual memories as closely as possible.
좋아.
alright, got that clear enough, so... What the? I almost jumped out of my skin!
내겐 돌연적으로
I had people who accompanied me, either by caprice, confidence, or fate.
함께하게 된 이들이 그말 멋있네.
What a fascinating line.
그러게 왜 문 앞에 얼간이처럼
Why did you stand in front of the door like a dork?
뭐? 얼간이?
What did you call me?
잠깐.
Wait, aren't you the one that just...
사람 얼굴이 그렇게 뚜렷하게
What are you staring at my face for? Like you were looking at a dead person. Why, do I look cool?
She's right, Gabrielle. Don't act like such a country bumpkin. Do you want your mannerisms to match your name? How will you say that? What is it? Just reading from the script, Mr. Heathcliff. The script. That's just what mine says.
그렇게 쓰여 있단 말이에요.
뭘 그렇게 자기들
What are you whispering like that?
그게 말이야, 동백.
You know, Donbei,
영희가
Gabrielle was thinking back to how we all managed to gather here at T-Court.
되었는지 회상을
괜히 거슬리네.
That really bugs me.
이름 부르지
Boy,
마.
don't call me by that name.
좋네요.
Good acting.
항상
The
그런
good Gabrielle always used to
자기 본명.
ask us not to call him by his name, too.
당신이 말할 순
It is now your turn to speak,
Songhyo. So, as one might know, our hometown, S-Corp's district, was going through a turbulent time, many things breaking and changing. Because of daydreaming higher-ups who tell sweet-sounding words with no substance and corrupt officials squeezing the people, the public's lives and economy teetered and twisted more and more each day. With no guarantees of arrangements between wings or positions to apply for, researchers like us who pursued the studies of knowledge struggled to find even a simple bolt to help ourselves. That was when Brother Youngji brought us together. I was the one who called Isong and Donbei. We grew up in the same town. Right. Brother Youngji and Danrong brought us together. There, I suggested. The wing called T-Corp is seeing remarkable technological growth nowadays, generously backing inventions of machines and technology. So it should be no problem at all to get any part we need. There, all the people invent for living. So, the like-minded ones defected to the district empty-handed, risking everything. As everyone wished, we were free to continue our research here. Even though we had yet to yield the colors in them. Even though we had to yield the colors in them, making it so they didn't outwardly shine. As Merceau, or the League of Nine Literature's member he played, pointed out, I couldn't see any color in this place. Even the flower just outside the window was devoid of color, waving like a turbid blur. Jesus. In T-Corp's district, having colors is a kind of privilege. They take away colors? Colors establish identity. There are few better ways to rob one of uniqueness than this. Isn't that right? For sure. And colors are some of the few little things the poor could normally have. Hey, Anyang. Are you gonna keep chatting away? The conference is today. Watch, I've made a vibrant amusement. Look! It blows up better than before, doesn't it? I have to wonder what is up with your obsession with explosives. I mean, fireworks, Donbei. Here, you can't see stars in the night sky thanks to the blinding lights and smokestacks filling the air. The stars were so pretty in my hometown. It was fun watching them together. What's more, there's no color here. Where we were, we could at least see the colors of flowers. So, I wanted to bring it back some way. Look, even if it's all black and white, you can still see it, right? Fire makes such a warm color. I'm a bit embarrassed. I don't have anything to show off for now. Is that really something to admit so merrily? Treating injured animals on the streets took much of my time. I couldn't leave them be. They remind me of the yellow calf I left behind in my hometown. It used to like you so much. I don't get what it saw in you. It was abandoned by its mother, seeking warmth to lean on as an instinct all living beings have. Well, by now, I guess it has offspring? Probably not. That calf was male. Oh, bother. Here we go again. Wrong. Looks like the bar owner is here to take the tabio again. Why don't you go outside and greet them? What those crooks? How'd they get here?
The strong resonance in the Golden Bough with Isong is affecting the entire laboratory building. They were caught up in it as well, but they have no ties to Isong. Since they weren't given any roles in the play, they'll instead try to ruin the stage. It'll only get worse as the Fathoms grow unstable.
In other words, we have to be quick with moving the play's plot along. The more time we spend fooling around like a certain complete oaf instead of reading what the script says, the more enemies will attack us. Ishmael began to lightly limber up, cracking her joints. So let's focus on the foes on deck for now. He's on levels to 35, he is now Updike 3, and this applies to all Isong identities regardless of which one you bring in. I just brought in the one I had. So technically, even if I wasn't forced to, bringing in Isong is probably my best bet. I'll swap out Dawn for now.
천천히 가자니까. 내 뒤로.
Ow. Now, I haven't really looked too much into this, but I do believe all the names that are referenced in this play are at least the actual pen names of the various League of Nine that existed in real life, or at least have something to do with the things that they wrote. Because Donbei is not actually the name of any of the members, but was actually the name of a character by one of them. I believe Donrong was the pen name for one of them, same thing with Gubo and Asaya, I think, but I'm not sure about Anyang and Gaprong and Brother Yongji. I'm not sure about them. And then obviously Isong himself. I hope you have been well since we conversed last. I see flowers bloom outside, and the birds chirp every now and then. Though the scents of flowers spread as they like, they create a rather sweet smell once mingled in one place. I wonder if you had taken in such a smell. I was always worried about the gloom on Donbei's face. But the things she presents at the Illuminators conferences are relieving to see. They carry a certain joy with them. Can I take that as her way of indirectly expressing the smiles she couldn't make at us? Well, take it however you want. Isong? What are you thinking? I just can't figure out what your face might mean. It makes me curious to know what's on your mind. Those who I have brushed past until now ask that same question. However, as I did not possess the eloquence to utter a concise answer in words, and the matter itself was too wearisome and perplexing to clearly summarize, I would substitute my answer with a figurative blank sheet of paper. You know what that is. Nothing. In truth, it may not have been nothing after all. I would feel a desire to scatter into the winds in lush blue, sensing the sway of seeds plunging into my scrolling mind. Well, how was my acting? Brother Youngji was a man of kindness. He was not one to rashly harbor spite or reproach for others. You resemble him in that sense. That one makes a lot more sense now that I actually know what Honglu's thing is. Oh man, abnormalities. Or creaturas. rather.
관념 봉인.
Hello, Pekatula.
순식간에 끝내죠.
그대 또한 잠들.
Bang bang.
제가 묻었네요.
묻혀주게! 놈 나와!
잠든 그대를 기릴 테니.
And so I started blasting. A broken K-Corp drone is tumbling on the floor. I can only revive sinners where I can see the star, so in the meantime, we might be able to find an ampule to use if we search through it. Rummage through the drone. The sinner good at searching should be able to help. Greg, get your hands dirty. Several wounds were left on Gregor's hands while rummaging through the wreckage. Fortunately, we were able to find a small ampule in it. After going through that trouble, the other sinners sighed at the ultimately pointless haul. We had to leave the room with my promise that I'll turn the clock for them next time.
어때? 마음에 드시나?
Start a turn, allies under 40% heal, 100% max HP once per 4. Alrighty. I don't remember if there's a way of fast-tracking this.
죽음 충동 억제.
Because the thing is with the Fathoms is that they do tend to be very linear, starting with Kanto 4.
말이야. 이번에
You see, I called you this time because
내가 만든
I've made something interesting that I'd like to show.
Huh.
영지,
Youngji,
뭐야?
what is this?
덧없이 지는 것이
There are simply too many transient things that wilt all too soon. Don't you think?
나비는 그저 가볍게
The butterfly
날아오르고
only
있을
wanted
뿐인데
to lightly flutter,
그 줄로
but to be punished with the death for that crime.
안타깝지 않은
That
것이
felt
없어.
too unfortunate.
설마
Did you
죽은 것을
bring it back
되살린 거야?
from the dead?
그런 기술은 머리에서
I thought that kind of technology was forbidden by the Hedge Treaty.
아니요.
It is no such
사체는
case.
그대로 인하
Although the carcass remains inanimate, something has overwritten it.
맞아.
That's
정확히
right.
말하면
To be exact,
유리창이야.
it's the glass window.
창 안에서 나비는
The butterfly can now be
이제
free
자유로워질 수
within
있는
it.
거지. 연못을 건너려다
Even if its
나비는
wings dampen while trying to cross a
소나기에
pond,
잡혀 가루로
or gripped in
부서져
somebody's hands and
꽃을
crumbled to
잡지 못해
dust,
메말라
or
가더라도
dry out due to the lack of flowers.
나비는 멈추지
The butterfly
않는다.
won't stop,
그러고
and eventually,
마침내
in the distant future,
바다까지 건너게 되는
it'll
것이
make it across the sea.
그렇게 되면
If that happens,
바다조차도 무섭지
will the
않게
butterfly no longer be afraid of the sea?
엄청난
Splendid,
경험이지.
Youngji.
이
This
기술을
level of
전달
technology
쓰려면
could have
활용이
numerous
무궁무진하겠어.
applications.
영지,
Youngji,
정말 이 기술
are you sure
잔소리만을 위해 만든
you really made this just for the conference?
그게 무슨 말이야?
What do you mean by that?
각자의 생업에서
A gathering where we show technology we've created as a hobby in our free time after returning from a day's work, sharing our thoughts.
그것이 우리 구이
Wasn't that the significance and appeal of the Illuminators Conference our league had?
그런데 이 기술은
But this,
단순히
it doesn't look like a simple hobby horse to me.
너 설마
Are you still
그때
not over what happened then?
동백은 그렇게
That's
보는구나.
how you see it, Donbei.
너의 견해도 궁금한데.
I'd like to know what you think as well, Isong.
동랑의 말대로
As Donrong rightfully assessed, this is nothing short of a great first discovery.
하나
Alas,
유리창에 성의가 낀
if frost were to form on the glass window,
빛인 대상도
it will blur the reflected image all the same.
따라서 유리창에
As such, The frame of this glass window
반듯하게
will need to be
만들어야 할
made firmer and straighter.
이상,
Yusong,
너는 고작 한 번 보았을 뿐인데.
you managed to see through its essence just from a single glance.
그런데 나한테는
But personally,
강도가 떠오르지 않으니.
I can't seem to think of a way. So how about this instead?
이상,
Yusong,
너만의 방식으로
try recreating it in your own way.
나의 방식.
My own way.
맞아.
That's right.
그럼 낭수회 때 말이야.
By the next conference.
내가
Is it
유리창 같은
truly
가치
okay for
있는
me
것을 다루어도
to handle a technology as valuable as the glass window?
그게 아니야.
You got it
가치가
wrong.
있기에 제안하는 거지.
I'm making this suggestion because it's valuable.
내 뒤로.
나아가주게. 편히 쉬시게. 잠든 그대의 길일 테니.
Ow, my Greg.
Yeah, you're Greg.
방심해.
Pebble and Drool.
What?
Wait, why am I referencing fucking Fairly Odd Parent?
I don't know, why not?
순식간에 끝내죠.
Eh.
이 피었잖아.
Sorry.
It's fine.
태어난 곳으로 돌아가. 살고자 하는 모든 것들과 함께 무덤으로 돌아가라.
위험 요소 제거.
Guess I'll go in here?
채워지지 않을 공허를 남겨주지.
More of these guys.
나아가주게.
태어난 곳으로 돌아가라.
위험 요소 제거.
못 쳐지게. 놈 나와.
Are these eggs? Please be careful, it might be an abnormality. Come to think of it, I was told that the underground lab K-Corp set up also managed eggs from the L-Corp branch. Whoa, hey, is this thing twitching? As the center observed the eggs, an egg begins to move. What will we do? Touch the egg. Considering our experiences with receiving gifts from abnormalities, we might just be able to get something to help with exploring the dungeon here. Yusong. Whoa. Yusong touched the egg, and it started glowing. Soon afterwards, it hardened and turned into a uniquely shaped gem. This looks worth taking. Yusong seemed rather tired, but there wasn't anything off about the body as far as we could see. We left the place with the gem in our possession. Piece of crumpled egg. On the first turn of each encounter, gain 2 EGO resources of a random affinity in possession.
조직 놈들인지 면면 좀 받을까?
화기애애했네요.
It looks like the group was at peace.
잠깐 동안은 좋았어요.
Things were good for a short while. It was as though we were on a trip. We thought everything would be fine after leaving our hometown for this new place. But alas,
결국 어디든 간에
at the end of the day, human societies weren't so different from each other.
오늘 장에 가서
Today,
몰고 왔다.
I saw something suspicious at the market. Now that intrigues me. What is it, Sanghyo?
이 발명품
This invention.
감룡.
Wasn't this
네가
your work for the League of Nine, Gabriel?
뭐저
It is. Well, I mean, there's no need to scour markets and all that, right? It's trust and faith that bind us together, isn't it?
구인의 아홉 구유를
You must have
이어서
forgotten the League's 9 laws.
구, 아, 구.
LL.
멋지.
Fascinating.
요슈 씨.
Yoshu,
없는 말을 할까요?
you aren't supposed to say things that aren't in the script. I know. It made me memorize every word of it. You think I'll forget? No technology made within the League shall be distributed outside. Be particularly careful not to be tainted with the smell of money. Well, we've been told that all our property will be seized if we don't pay the rent for the laboratory within the next 6 days. What are we supposed to do? We've got to do something about it. The money we earn at the factory can only barely keep us fed. We got here from S-Corp's district, taking nothing but passion for research with us. Tell me how else we're gonna pay the rent.
틀린 말은 아니다.
That's a valid point. Taxes are heavier on us because we migrated from another district. They are demanding a fee we cannot afford to pay regularly.
돈은 내가
I can pay that.
그러니
So I suggest we put this matter to rest.
잠깐.
Wait,
나는 왜 처음 듣는
why haven't I been told about this before?
사업이라니?
Seized?
너도 알고 있어?
Did you know all along, Youngji?
입으로 직접 말해.
I want to hear from you directly.
흥분한 건 알겠지만
I understand that you're upset, but be mindful of what you say to brother Youngji, Dongbae.
나는 괜찮아.
I'm fine, Sanghyo.
동백
Dongbae,
해결되면
I was planning to tell you once it had been dealt with.
부인의 일이라면
I figured you'd be the first to get furious about matters concerning the League.
그리고 이상
And he sung,
해준다니 너무
while I sincerely appreciate your offer, I possibly couldn't take it.
괜찮소. 쌓아보아야
It
덧없어.
bothers me not,
부디 구인을
for
위해
accumulating
써주시오.
wealth has no meaning to me. I urge you to spend it for the League's sake.
잠깐.
What?
이상
Wait.
씨,
You sung?
부자였어요.
Were you that rich? He might want to do a better job of remembering your part. Yes?
또다시 적들이 공격해
The enemies will start attacking again, you know.
종이에 뻔히 적힌 것도
Look who's fooling around like an oaf, failing the what's as easy as reading as the little. Look who's fooling around like an oaf, failing what's as easy as reading words on a paper. Ishmael doesn't like to admit that sometimes she does the same shit as Heathcliff.
사고될 시간이다. 잔후에 태어난 곳으로 돌아가라.
여기 피었잖아.
거기까지.
묻혀주게.
잠든 그대를 기리.
Bang bang.
제가 앞에 서죠.
그 봄날
On that spring day,
나는 조그만 거울
I made a small mirror. I name it Yonsim,
이름 붙였지. 그리고
and
수많은
I happened to catch a signal while tuning out numerous noises
우연치
and chatterings.
연심 속에서 비로소
In Yonsim,
그대를 만난
I met
것이
you at last,
아름답고 담
my left-handed self,
나의 왼손잡이.
beautiful and serene.
반갑소.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I am
이상이라 하지.
Yisung,
이거
isn't it?
참으로 이상한
What a
게
peculiar experience this is.
네가 들고 있는
That
그거
mirror you're holding,
연심이라.
it's what I call Yonsim.
연심이라.
Yonsim, huh? To grind or study and to seek.
이것은 무언가를
This is a
가르는
product of grinding something,
마음마저도 가르는
scraping even the
권능의
mind
것이기에.
to polish it.
그렇구나.
I see.
모든 이상은
I suppose all versions of Yisung were dedicated to research.
그대.
You
나에게
have
도달할
wings on
거야.
your back. If my eyes aren't being deceitful,
그대가 보기에 내
what do you think of them?
날개는 어때? 찬란하군.
Resplendent.
퍽 따뜻하고도
They look quite warm
자유로워 보여.
and free.
우리는 서로를 들여다보고
We looked into
내다보았어.
and ahead of each other.
영지영의 기술에
I only
살짝의
made
변형을
minor
가하고
modifications to Brother Youngji's work.
어떠한
I
가능성
wanted to show a reflection
있는
of
그대를
any
비추고
possibility
싶었어.
in its unvarnished image, without a blur.
여기서 누워 보는 별은 진정으로
The stars I saw while lying on the ground here seemed so far away,
이렇게
yet it was possible to see them up close.
너 이걸 찾으려는
Is this why I haven't been able to see you lately? To discover this? I thought you caved to your yearning for rice and went back to S-Corp's district.
그런데 뭐
I'll say though, this isn't half bad.
동망
Done wrong.
왜 그렇게 웃니?
Why are you laughing like that? It's just funny that you're talking so ferociously when your eyes are full of curious twinkles.
이상
Yisung,
시끄럽다고
will you tell him to
찾는데?
shut it?
얼음 과자 처음 먹어본
Why don't you
어린애
first hide your
생각이나
facial
감춰줄래?
recreation of a child who's tried ice cream for the first time?
구보. 너도
구보.
뭐라도 말해봐.
Why don't you say
우리
something?
들어온 지가 언제인데
You've been part of the league for fairly long now,
그분이 손님처럼
so stop
있어?
standing around like a guest.
이미 모두가 이걸
What
좋아하는데
more do I have to add?
말하는 말이오.
Everyone already seems to be of one mind.
깍두기면 깍두기답게 넉살이라도
If you're trying to be an odd one out, at least have some audacity. Some cold fish you are.
그렇구나.
I see. So this
세상을 보는 방식이
is how you view the world.
내가 보는
The
세상.
world I view, is it?
그거 알아?
Did you know?
기술에는
They say every invention carries hints of the hopes and dreams of its inventor.
그걸 찾아내는 것도
Discovering them is one of the spectator's joys.
알아두면 좋을 거야.
It's a tidbit that's good to know.
이상.
So, Isang,
이 기술로
what do you plan to do with this technology?
무엇을
Do
해본다니?
what exactly?
영지형의 유리창을
Brother Youngji's
벌써
glass window is already
관심을
making the
보이고 있다.
rounds. Researchers from other nests have taken an interest,
관심을 보이고 있다.
or so I've heard.
참, 이곳을
Really?
구경하러 오는 손님은 별로
We rarely
없으니까
saw visitors in the past,
차례로
but now we
줄을
might have to start punching tickets so all those people will stand in line.
그러니까
So
여기서
if you announce your work here,
동랑.
done wrong.
나는 이것을
I have
바꿀
absolutely
생각이
no
없어.
intention of announcing this.
없다.
None?
전혀?
At all.
그저
All that I ask
우리끼리 웃음을
is to
터뜨리는
keep this as a
순간을
moment of laughter,
간직하면 어떨까
solely between us.
야, 너는 대체 무슨
Look,
생각으로?
just what is your idea of
이상
his song?
너 이제까지
That was the
본
second funniest moment I've seen out of you.
첫 번째는
The first is,
있잖아.
you know, when the yellow cat was being fed milk
봤는데
and suddenly licked his hair.
머리를
True. I've never seen Donbain laugh as loudly as then.
데서 한 건 처음 봤어.
그건 이제 묻어둔
I
편이.
think we'd best forget.
사람의 눈동자는
Human eyes are such glistening and scalding things.
사뭇 데일 것
Fearing that they
같아.
would burn me,
나는
I
그것을
tended to watch them from the
푹
side.
비껴보곤 하였지. 하지만 대상을
However,
직사하지 않는다고 하여
Not seeing the subject straightly does not mean I think lowly of them.
바라보지 않아도
Even without looking,
스며들 수는 있어.
it is possible to seep in.
그런데 저거
By the way,
거울이랑
is
같은
that
거야?
the same mirror we use?
엄밀하게는
Similar, to be exact. Limbus Company uses a mirror with special modifications.
엄청난 걸 발명했어.
You invented something incredible, Yusong.
나나 영지영이 한
What
것이
Youngji and I did
발명이 아니라
wasn't invention. We discovered, rather. T-Corp wouldn't have been pleased with the idea of a technology capable of peeping into other worlds without permission. I do believe you know well enough that the problem lies with the lack of permission, not the capability of the technology.
짐작은 하고 있었으나
Although we had figured that,
우리끼리 놀이라고
we thought it would be fine since it was only used as a pastime between us.
참으로
The decision couldn't have been more glib.
수 없었어.
Ah, the fairy gentleman. How do you do?
나아가주게.
Bang bang. No, my morale.
나아가주게. 이 피었잖아.
태어난 곳으로 돌아가라.
편히 쉬시게.
Jesus, only 2 heads. He still managed to destroy the thing. Craig, darling, destroy that glass for me, please. Thank you.
하고들 시간이다. 잔 우에.
위험 요소 제거.
Thank you, Ishi.
살고자 하는 모든 것들과 함께 무덤으로 돌아가라.
나아가주게.
I'll say we get through this fight with the fairy gentleman, and that's probably what we'll call it for the night.
Sorry, I have to mute. There's a bunch of noise on in the
I
background.
mean, that's fine, dude. It's fine. A lot of this part of the story is actually kind of quiet anyway, so...
나아가주게.
거기까지.
방심했고
Well, we know the old clip from Family Feud.
내 뒤로.
on the head with the butt of his sword. Just boink. Alright, so that opens up a new path on the inside of this little area of the thing. But you can see that we still have a lot of dungeon to get through, so... I'll go back up here and take care of this one little, event node, but, besides that, that is going to be where we call it for tonight, because... Oh boy! It's filled with K-Corp's ampules. Ooh, good for us. Hey Dante, why don't we take at least one of those? Negative. The ampule injector is only in this room, so it will not be possible to use them outside this place. What will we do? Use the ampules. Why not? Who gets? No! Warnings are written on the ampules. Skimming through the glass bottles, I could see tiny noses attached to them. However, text was too dense to read properly. Missing parts, insufficient... Huh? I have no idea what this is saying. Manager Esquire, it would appear that this device has two modes, single and group. I guess just do that because I'm going to a checkpoint. Shouldn't hurt to let all the sinners benefit from it. Press the group button. This is weird, I'm feeling sick all of a sudden. A number of sinners groaned in pain. Thinking about what they had in common, I realized that they were all uninjured. This must not be something you may administer to healthy individuals. Better be careful next time. Alright. Checkpoint. Alright. That is... shenanigans of the Limbus Company at the moment. And I still don't think I have enough for a 10 pull? Or did I have tickets? I think I have tickets.
Will we actually get a natural Heathcliff this time?
Probably not! I managed to pick up some tickets from the rerun of the LCE event, so... I got the worst Heathcliff!
Is it worse than base?
Kind of.
Oh.
Because...
Oh.
Let me pull up a thing. Base Heathcliff doesn't have much going for him. He's kind of a bare bones tremor unit. And he's not exactly fast, but he kind of at least hits pretty well. She Association Heathcliff. I can't show off what his skill 3 is. He always has this caveat of his skills are only better when he's below a certain health threshold. This is an actual thing. And Flashing Strike, he will always lose at least 5 HP if he's allowed to use Flashing Strike. He can, and is liable, to kill himself.
I see what they were going for.
This is very much the entire thing of the Shi Association characters, even in Runa, that they are so overworked and exhausted that they are technically, quote, never at peak performance. They are always below health, and generally will always do better the lower their HP. But the thing is, Shi Heathcliff, I think he has the higher damage threshold that, like, you see that he has to be at less than 25% HP. I think she... Ishmael is like 50? Or like doesn't even have that restriction? Or, yeah, her skill 3 has at less than 25% HP, heal 100% of the damage dealt. And at less than 50% she gains extra points. She's not exactly a good poise unit, bear that in mind, she's a terrible poise unit. And Shi Dawn... doesn't even have anything with the health thing going on at all. Shidon is by far the best of the She South units. I had to clarify the She South units. Faust has a She identity. It has nothing to do with these guys. She Association Heathcliff is by far the worst Heathcliff. Because he's low power, he has to be practically dead to actually use his power, and then his fucking skill 3 will just kill him. Because healing in this game is kind of annoying. Like, if you have a permanently benched Gregor, and like Faust, Mur, or Rodian on healing duty, even Sinclair on healing duty, yeah, he might live, but he probably won't be below 25% HP anymore. Like, She Association Heathcliff only shines in the Mirror Dungeon, and even then, Kurokuma Heathcliff is there! He's he's better than She! I got the worst Heathcliff. Like, he's just gonna sit there. Like, the only reason I, quote, use She Heathcliff in my main file is because of the facade system. It just looks like She Heathcliff. It's not actually him because he's that bad. I have used She Heathcliff. Bear in mind, I have used She Heathcliff in the past. Like, back when the game was new. But it's kind of a case of, if you want to bleed Heathcliff, there are better Heathcliff options, and I have the better option. There is no reason to use She Association Heathcliff. He is just terrible.
Damn.
Yeah, like, that is literally just a case of he is just straight up outclassed by something else. Because this isn't even a bleed unit. Like, he has no keywords.
There's being outclassed, then there's whatever the hell he is.
Yeah, because, like, he doesn't even have any keywords to him, and keywords is kind of the name of this game. He inflicts no status effects, he doesn't give himself poise, he can do better damage if he gets hit that turn. Like, the strange case of Season 1 identities, basically. Like, I can't even look at what his tier 4 is right now, but it's kind of a case of there's just better Heathcliffs. Like, literally their Heathcliff is better than She Association. Because I'm trying to think of, like, what else is considered not a good Heathcliff to use. Well, it's like, there isn't much. It's just that Heathcliff is basically good to slot into any team because he usually has something. But there's just no reason to use She Association. I mean, there's no reason to use the She Association, period. But, like, Heathcliff is particularly bad. Because, like, at least Dawn, you can make her do funny things. And Ishmael, well, there's also better Ishmaels. Like, She South kind of got shafted by being included very early. Like, I think if they were remade now, they'd be fantastic, even with their weird caveat. But, like, being Season 1, no, they're outright terrible. But, anyway, taking that into consideration, when we come back next Monday, I will finish up Canto 4, and we might start Intervallo 2. That wholly depends on how much I want to group those two together. But that is the plan for the Monday stream next week. So long as everything goes to plan. So basically the rest of this week, Wednesday I will be finishing off, maybe starting up 999. I will also try and be back Thursday morning for kind of an impromptu Limbus stream as well, because we're getting chapter 9.5, and I might as well show that off because I showed off Canto 9. I will probably not go for a full 8 hours. Hopefully the interval is not that long anyway, but Thursday is going to be another Limbus stream just to see what that is like. And if I don't finish it all, then I
swear to God, if you start by the time I leave for work and you're still going by the time I get back.
No, I'm not gonna go for an 8-hour stream again. If it's like main Canto, I might do that, but for intervalos, no. intervals are not as important to get through in a single sitting. So, but yeah, so Wednesday, Thursday this week, be back on Monday for Canto 4 on this file. But with that all taken into consideration, at least, we are going to go raid Aelita, who is playing some Power Wash Simulator 2. Because why not? Power Wash. So I hope you enjoyed the stream tonight. I am distinctly surprised myself I got through Dome Bay so easily. I thought I was going to be there for longer. So that says some things for some of the other fights I'm thinking of that I'm going to show off on the series. But anyway, I hope you had a good time. Say hi to Aelita, and we will be back on Wednesday. Until then, bye!